Shabbat Shalom. In our Parsha today, it's Shabbat Yitro, Moses' father-in-law comes to him and he sees everything that he's doing. He's doing so much. Actually, he's doing everything. He recognizes that Moses needs a little help, a lot of help, actually, and he tells him to set up magistrates and leaders within all the tribes, and remember, there were a lot of people, to settle the minor disputes, while only the major ones would be brought before him that he would then take to God. The Parsha, the lawyers love it. It's about order, delineation of work, of leadership, of communal living under a system of rules and accountability. The big moment at the mountain comes with great thunder and flame, fire, and it terrifies the people, absolutely terrifies them. The commandments are given, but the people recognize they don't want to have this close a contact with God. It is just too much for them. So they say, Moses, you do it. We're leaving it to you. It's too much for us. But we get it. We get the connection. We get the responsibility, and we get the miracle that this was established. No more would this be a people of a slave mentality. This would be a free people with rules and consequences based upon their behavior and choice. Commandments were given, they were received, and they were accepted. And a legal system was established to enforce and to mediate as a precursor to what we actually have even today, almost 6,000 years later. But people are people. Even in this Parsha, at the beginning, the Israelites complained to Moses, whined, got upset. Why did you lead us out of Egypt and bring us to a place with water, no water and suffering? Maybe we had it better. We knew what we had. We don't know what we've got. And so God talks to Moses, and Moses strikes a rock. Some say he did not get into the promised land because he struck the rock. Maybe he was supposed to massage it gently. But he struck the rock, and what happens? Water appears, yet another miracle. So, these people who complain and are generally ungrateful are constantly on Moses' back and up in his face. Do you ever experience that? It takes this moment at the mountain, amidst great revelation, thunder, and fire, for them to be riveted, shaken to the core, and awakened enough to truly witness, own, relate, and really internalize the power of the one true God. They hear the blast of the shofar, and they know, and as we say in the Shema, that there is this all-encompassing oneness, this one God that is at times overwhelming. The commandments were accepted by us and no other nation. It is said that it was offered, but we were the ones all the time, because the other nations were doing all the things they weren't supposed to be doing, so it would have been harder for them to give it up. We just complained a lot. In this Parsha, it is made clear that we are meant to be a nation, a kingdom of priests and not slaves. And the burden, and yes, to the blessing, will be upon us for all time, of ethical, moral, and spiritual living. If we adhere, as we read earlier today, and we are pure, everything will be good. If not, there will be consequences, but we will have brought them upon ourselves by our own actions. Does anybody see this happening right now in the world? It's so easy. We just have to follow the commandments, but it's not so easy. People just can't seem to do it. We have these commandments. We are now free. We worship the one true God and not making our choices based upon the whip of an Egyptian master, but by an all-knowing, all-seeing God who can at times be awe-inspiring, terrifying, but also compassionate and just. Our society, leaders, law enforcers, and people of today can be as unruly and undisciplined and ungrateful as in the past. But the formula has been laid out clearly. It is not rocket science. Follow the commands, live within a balanced and just system of rules. Mediation, and yes, consequence. And not just order, but blessing will follow. We will have been set up for blessing to rain upon us, abundant blessing. As we hear the commandments, let us contemplate what it might have felt like to be there then amidst the majesty and the wonder. And let us open ourselves up to the blessing that God has given as we carry the truth of Torah, of a life lived within the commandments, carry it forward so that order, justice, and blessing can abound. May God hear, see, and bear witness to our observance, our adherence, and our faith. May God lift us all up, not just here, but throughout the world by our prayers, by our devotion, and bring blessing upon us all, along with order and peace. Ken Yehi Ratzon, may it be God's will. Shabbat Shalom.